For more than 20 years, I've watched the NBA deliver some of the wildest moments you could imagine.
Throughout these years, I've witnessed numerous intense and heated moments, both physical and verbal.
From Raja Bell clotheslining Kobe, to LeBron screaming at Mario Chalmers, to Draymond Green adding yet another chapter to his never-ending encyclopedia of chaos. I've seen stars fight, shove, meltdown, and erupt. But even after all the madness I've witnessed across 2 full decades, nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing,
who plays the style that how Caitlin
What is the
plays?
style? Just threes?
Wow.
It's not just threes.
What is her style?
The idiocy of Team USA women's basketball. How dare you make this decision? You don't sit up there and pass on Caitlin Clark. It was stupid, Team USA. It was a dumb decision.
When I talk about Caitlin Clark exposing USA basketball, I'm referring to 2 key individuals along with Diana Taurasi.
compares to what Caitlin Clark has had to endure in just her first year as a professional. Mockery from opponents, cheap shots on the court, veteran players taking public swings at her talent, a media machine that can't decide whether to celebrate her or tear her down. And now we've reached the moment that took the disrespect to a level no one thought even the WNBA could reach. Team USA, the supposed gold standard of women's basketball, made the single dumbest decision in modern sports.
Rims around, DT3 with the ball in her hands.
These 3 individuals hold considerable sway over team selections for USA basketball, and it seems they harbor an unusual grudge against Caitlin Clark.
But as a coach, as a home team, there's going to be a lot of people cheering for that other side. I mean,
I'll get 2 shits.
How about 1?
Not even 1 shit.
By leaving Caitlin Clark off the Olympic roster. At first, I genuinely thought I misheard it. I had to replay the news twice because no one is clueless enough to sideline the most impactful, most watched, most influential rookie women's basketball has ever seen. But Team USA did. And today, here at Her Hoops, we're going to break down the moment Caitlin Clark didn't just respond, she exposed everything wrong with USA basketball. Not with drama, not with interviews, not with a social media rant, but with the one thing they can't hide from: basketball.
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
Diana Taurasi made some outlandish remarks before as well, stating that she wouldn't select Caitlin Clark even if she had the #1 pick.
Tonight, we're going deep into how a rookie exposed ego, politics, favoritism, and a system terrified of the change she represents. We're covering the coaches and executives who publicly showed their jealousy, the veterans who downplayed her talent, the stats and performances that obliterate every excuse, and the exact moment Team USA's entire justification fell apart on national TV.
I'm taking Paige. Next question.
So if you had the #1 pick this year, you would take Paige over Caitlin?
Absolutely.
I know this video is titled "The Day Caitlin Clark Exposed USA Basketball," but the truth is, there have been multiple days where Caitlin completely exposed the flaws of women's basketball in America.
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
This is the story of a superstar who didn't have to fight the narrative because the truth spoke for itself. And if you're watching from Her Hoops, make sure you hit like right now because this breakdown is about to get real. To understand how shocking this moment truly was, you have to understand the history, the long, messy, ego-loaded history behind the people who control USA basketball.
Disrespectful to leave Caitlin Clark off the Olympic roster. She is not one of the 12 best professional basketball players in the United States of America right now.
I mean, their entire argument for leaving Caitlin off the team was simply that she wasn't good enough.
If it's a dumb marketing move, Stephen A., I hear you.
Marketing.
But Team USA is not worried about the marketing. That is not Team USA's mission right now. Team USA is trying to get a gold medal.
And the way they've treated Caitlin Clark since before she ever stepped foot onto a WNBA court. Because this wasn't about selection criteria. This wasn't about experience. This wasn't about needing veterans. No, this was personal. Let's start with the power players. Cheryl Reeve, head coach of the Minnesota Lynx, head coach of Team USA. And quite honestly, the loudest voice in this entire anti-Caitlin Clark saga. Before Caitlin's rookie season even tipped off, Cheryl was already throwing shade. When the WNBA posted a simple promotional graphic about Indiana's preseason game, Cheryl jumped into the comments like a high schooler mad about prom attention and wrote, "Also in action tonight, blah blah blah, hashtag 12 teams, hashtag the WI is more than one player. Professional, mature, Olympic-level leadership, right?" Then, when fans pointed out that networks were skipping broadcasts because all anyone cared about was Caitlin Clark, Cheryl jumped in again. That part. Every time Caitlin's name was mentioned, Cheryl couldn't resist adding a sprinkle of passive-aggressive bitterness. And then came the pre-game interview where she couldn't even hide it anymore. "We're gonna have a lot of fans cheering for the other side. I mean, I give two shits. How about one? Not even one." This is the head coach of Team USA, the person in charge of selecting the Olympic roster, talking about the player who single-handedly revived interest in her entire league. And Cheryl wasn't alone. Jennifer Rizzotti, president of the Connecticut Sun and chair of the Women's National Team Committee, doubled down on the insult. She publicly claimed Caitlin didn't meet the selection criteria, a statement so laughable that even casual fans immediately called it out. Then, of course, there's Diana Taurasi, widely considered the GOAT, who has spent months minimizing Caitlin's talent with comments like, "Reality is coming. You look superhuman against 18-year-olds," even saying with a straight face that she wouldn't draft Caitlin Clark #1. All three hold influence. All three help shape Team USA. And all three have made it clear, intentionally or not, that they were not ready for Caitlin Clark's impact. This wasn't just oversight. This wasn't just a mistake. This was a pattern. Here's where everything starts to unravel. Because once you strip away the politics, the bitterness, and the excuses, the basketball itself tells a story that Team USA could no longer hide. Let's start with the moment that first cracked their narrative. Caitlin Clark versus Diana Taurasi. Round 1. Diana had been talking for months, reminding everyone about grown women, warning Caitlin about the reality check coming her way, acting like the rookie was about to get smacked in the mouth by the harsh truth of the WNBA. But when the matchup finally happened, Caitlin Clark didn't just hold her own. She outplayed the GOAT on national television. She controlled the pace, hit the dagger shots, and walked off the court with the win, while Diana walked off with her words hanging over her head. And like clockwork, after the defeat, Diana's entire tone changed. Suddenly, she respected Caitlin's game. Suddenly, she praised her passing. Suddenly, reality wasn't hitting Caitlin. Caitlin was hitting them. But that was just the appetizer. 2 weeks later, the rematch came. Except Diana didn't play. Injury? Convenient, because her team got blasted by 23 points, while Caitlin put up 20 and 13, shredding the defense and proving once again that she's not intimidated by grown women at all. Then came the main event, the moment that made Team USA's excuses collapse in real time. Caitlin Clark versus Cheryl Reeve's Minnesota Lynx. This game mattered. Cheryl knew it. The league knew it. Fans knew it. Because this was personal. For 3 quarters, Minnesota had the lead. Cheryl coached like it was a playoff game. She wanted this win more than anything, a chance to prove her point. And then the 4th quarter happened. Caitlin Clark detonated. Step-back threes, laser beam assists, full control of the game. She scored 10 in the 4th alone, nearly outscoring the entire Lynx team, and led Indiana to a statement win that instantly went viral. In that moment, everything Cheryl Reeve said, everything Diana said, everything Jennifer Rizzotti claimed, all of it collapsed. Because when you get outcoached, outplayed, and outperformed by the rookie you said wasn't good enough, the truth becomes impossible to hide. This wasn't a fluke. This wasn't hype. This wasn't marketing. This was Caitlin Clark proving, through basketball, that the people gatekeeping her don't actually have the receipts they claim. This is the point where the story goes from questionable decision-making to flat-out exposed hypocrisy, because after Caitlin torched the Lynx, Team USA defenders were still scrambling for excuses. Their favorite line? She's not one of the 12 best players in the United States. Really? Because within days of that claim, something happened that blew their entire argument to pieces. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever faced Team USA and beat them. Just think about that. A rookie-led WNBA team, one that spent last season at the bottom of the standings, walked into an exhibition game and embarrassed the most stacked women's basketball roster in the world, coached by the same Cheryl Reeve who said Caitlin wasn't ready. Caitlin didn't even have her best scoring night. She didn't drop 30, she didn't need to. She controlled the entire rhythm of the game with 10 assists, slicing up Team USA's defense possession after possession. She made the stars look slow. She made the system look outdated. She made the people who cut her look foolish. Remember that selection criteria Jennifer Rizzotti talked about? Turns out the real criteria Caitlin failed was simple. She embarrassed the wrong people. Because if Team USA supposedly wanted the 12 best, then explain this. Chelsea Gray, coming off injury, shooting 39% from the field and 24% from three. Jewel Lloyd, talented but wildly inefficient, shooting 36% from the floor and 26% from deep. Both selected over Caitlin. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark ranks 13th in scoring, first in the entire league in assists, and shoots better percentages than both. But let's go even deeper, because talent isn't their only contradiction. The WNBA has spent years begging for attention, visibility, investment, and relevance. At one point, the league was so financially strained that Kyrie Irving had to donate $1.5 million of his own money just to support its players. Yet when Caitlin Clark showed up, bringing record ratings, sold-out arenas, global attention, and mainstream interest, the league's response wasn't gratitude, it was resentment. Instead of embracing the one player who could boost the league's revenue, lift salaries, and rebuild their global image, they shut her out of the biggest spotlight in the world. Why? Because what's at stake isn't basketball. It's pride, it's ego, it's power. This isn't a rookie versus veteran story anymore. This is the moment the old guard realized the future wasn't waiting for their permission. Now let's dig beneath the surface, past the drama, past the quotes, past the headlines, into the mechanics of why Caitlin Clark's presence exposes so much about USA basketball and the WNBA's internal culture. Because this story isn't just emotional, it's structural. And once you break down the numbers, the trends, and the history, everything becomes painfully clear. Let's start with the performance data, the stuff Team USA hoped fans wouldn't look at. Caitlin Clark isn't just a scorer. She isn't just a shooter. She isn't just a rookie with buzz. She is, by every measurable metric, one of the most impactful players in the entire league. 17 points per game, top 15 in the WNBA. A league-leading 8.2 assists per game. Higher shooting percentages than both Jewel Lloyd and Chelsea Gray. Better net impact on team wins than half the Team USA roster. And that last one matters, because a lot of players put up nice numbers on bad teams. But Caitlin? She changed the entire trajectory of the Indiana Fever in less than 3 months. Last year, bottom of the conference, a franchise drowning in irrelevance. This year, 3rd place in the East, playoff bound, national TV almost every night, and fans tuning in globally, many for the first time. That's not normal impact, that's generational impact. Now compare that to the excuses Team USA gave. Veteran experience, except rookies have made the roster before. Diana Taurasi, Candace Parker, Breanna Stewart, all selected as first-year players. Selection criteria, except the criteria magically changed the moment Caitlin arrived. Not ready for international play, except she just outplayed those same international players in a head-to-head game. But here's the deeper truth, the one that goes beyond stats. Caitlin Clark threatens the comfort of an established hierarchy. For 2 decades, the WNBA operated under the same rigid structure, the same voices running the league, the same style of play, the same marketing failures, the same shrinking attendance, the same financial bleeding. And suddenly a player appears who breaks every pattern. She fills arenas. She shifts culture. She makes casual fans care. She brings millions in revenue. She dominates analytics. She outplays the vets who dismiss her. She makes Team USA look beatable. To the old guard, she's not just a rising star. She's a disruption. A spotlight they don't control. A future they didn't create. A narrative they can't manufacture. And that is exactly why her exclusion was never about ability. It was about power. At this point, we've covered the drama, the hypocrisy, the performances, and the politics. But now we need to zoom out and look at what all of this really means for women's basketball. Because Caitlin Clark being left off Team USA isn't just a roster decision. It isn't just an oversight. It isn't even just a bad call. It's a turning point. A moment that reveals a deep divide inside the WNBA and USA basketball. A divide between the old world and the new world, between the gatekeepers and the game changers. Let's start with the cultural shift. For decades, women's basketball lived in a frustrating cycle. Low attendance, minimal marketing, sparse media coverage, constant pleas for funding, players forced overseas in the off-season for livable salaries. The league fought hard, but the growth was slow, painfully slow. And honestly, most of the world barely noticed. Then Caitlin Clark came along and did what no PR campaign, no commissioner announcement, and no committee decision had ever been able to do. She made people care. Casual fans, non-sports fans, global audiences, kids, parents, celebrities, NBA players, journalists. Everyone suddenly tuned in. Ratings skyrocketed. Ticket demand exploded. Merch sales broke records. Articles appeared daily. Every Indiana Fever game became an event. And the WNBA finally had the momentum it had been begging for. But instead of welcoming the biggest wave of interest the league has ever seen, the establishment felt threatened by it. Because Caitlin's popularity didn't come from the league office. It didn't come from the veterans. It didn't come from Team USA. It came from her. Her talent, her charisma, her style, her effect on fans. She didn't rise because the system lifted her. She rose in spite of the system resisting her. And that's the real reason this Olympic snub hit the sport like an earthquake. It proved that parts of the WNBA still operate with a scarcity mindset, afraid that one player's spotlight might diminish theirs, instead of realizing that her spotlight could elevate everyone. Instead of riding the momentum, Team USA tried to control it. Instead of embracing change, they tried to contain it. Instead of celebrating the player who revived the sport, they sidelined her to protect egos. But the irony? Their decision backfired. Caitlin Clark became even bigger. Fan support intensified. Ratings grew even more. And the divide between old and new became impossible to ignore. This isn't just a storyline anymore, it's a cultural shift. A moment that exposed who's ready for the future of women's basketball, and who's desperately trying to hold on to the past. And now, we arrive at the moment that ties everything together. The moment Caitlin Clark didn't just play basketball, didn't just survive criticism, didn't just outperform the veterans, but revealed exactly what's broken inside USA basketball. Because here's the truth. Caitlin Clark didn't expose Team USA with words, she exposed them with reality. Every time they doubted her, she answered on the court. Every time they dismissed her, she delivered another highlight. Every time they tried to bury her under selection criteria, she pulled their excuses out by the roots. Think about the timeline. Diana Taurasi said, "Reality is coming." And reality came, for her, when Caitlyn beat her, twice. Cheryl Reeve mocked Caitlyn's popularity, and then watched from the sidelines as Caitlyn shredded her links in the fourth quarter and handed her an embarrassing loss. Jennifer Rizzotti said Caitlyn didn't meet the criteria, only for Caitlyn to outplay, outperform, and out-impact players who did make the roster. Team USA said she wasn't ready, and then got outplayed by her WNBA team while she controlled the entire game with 10 assists. This wasn't a rookie being humbled. This was a system being exposed. A system built on seniority over merit, politics over performance, comfort over competition. And Caitlyn Clark didn't fit into their hierarchy. She blew it open. She showed that women's basketball doesn't need gatekeepers. It needs growth. It doesn't need ego. It needs evolution. It doesn't need the way things have always been done. It needs players who push the sport forward. And the fans know it. The world knows it. The numbers prove it. The only ones still pretending not to know are the ones most threatened by the truth. Because here's the thing about Caitlyn Clark. You can leave her off the roster. You can downplay her impact. You can try to overshadow her with politics and excuses. But you cannot stop the momentum she's created. She is the future of women's basketball. Not because the league crowned her, but because the fans chose her. Because her game demands attention. Because her presence lifts everyone around her. Because she represents a level of skill, vision, and excitement that the sport has been waiting for. And whether Team USA wanted it or not, the future has already arrived. They didn't just snub Caitlyn Clark. They strengthened her legacy. They amplified her voice. They proved exactly why the world is gravitating toward her. And here at Her Hoops, we'll be right here covering every moment of it. The rivalries, the breakthroughs, the controversies, the historic moments. Because this story, this movement, this shift, it's only getting started. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Her Hoops for more explosive WNBA stories, deep dives, and the most dramatic coverage in the game. The future is bright. The future is loud. The future is undeniable. And the future's name is Caitlyn Clark.